Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to watch the Rocky movie from 1976 starring Stallone, Burgess Meredith, Carl Weathers, and a whole bunch of people. This film is an Academy Award winning film, one of the best sports movies of all time, and one of my favorites, and I'm just going to rewatch it and kind of remember the good old days. Also, I'm going to be answering a couple Q&A questions, just one question really. Thank you, Brandon. I'll put his link in the description below. Also, I did a video. One of my shorts, I gave him a digital download code for a movie. The best comment on the Q&A videos is going to get a digital download code. Usually I'll take those questions on Twitter. If you can send me those questions, that'll be great, and then I will send you the message. I'll make a video thanking you on the channel, and then I'll send you the code through a Twitter DM. Also, I'm going to do a little rant about Best Buy. That's where I got this collection. It has all the Rocky movies except for Creed 1 and 2. And it's really good. So, yeah, let's get into the video.
You want to know? I want to know! Okay, I'm going to tell you. Because you had the talent to become a good fighter.
Now to talk about Rocky. The movie was obviously very good. It's more of a drama than it is a sports film. There is a lot of sports elements in there. Some of the training montages and the, banter back and forth between Carl Weathers and his people, and then you have Mickey, played by Burgess Meredith, may he rest in peace, and just the sports dynamic in there, and the underdog story is very good. The film was written by Stallone, and for his first written film, I believe, he did a pretty good job. I mean, that's kind of like, I believe, how naturally people would talk. It's not like a movie where it just seems like overly dialogue-y, and it's, people who, I would say, kind of makes you uncomfortable. But when you're trying to talk to somebody who doesn't talk back, the way his dialogue is delivered and Adrian's reaction to somebody who's the more silent type, I think just kind of really goes together. Also, the film has some special features. I believe every disc has its own special features. This one had a behind-the-scenes kind of documentary narrated by Lloyd Kaufman, who did Trauma, and I think one of the writers on the film. It also had a sports kind of behind the scenes with an actual film, or not a film, he was an actual boxing, trainer, and he said Mickey's portrayal in the movie was pretty spot on to his own, and you can see the difference between old fighters and new fighters and stuff like that, and it's really cool. No complaints with the movie. The transfer looks really good. The movie's pretty old, so there's really not much like you can do with all the grain and stuff like that, but it's definitely got a good transfer for the movie, and looks good on my TV, and can't say anything more about it. Love this movie, and one of the greats. Alright, now time for the viewer Q&A questions. First one is by Super Nerdy Geek 2112. Brandon, he won the digital download code giveaway, did a video about it on my channel, thanking him. He was the first one to comment on it. Sorry for the next person who commented. I didn't see your comment until just recently, so unfortunately you didn't get it. But hopefully next time, if you comment, you will be in the drawing to win a digital download code I have from a stack of things over here. But anyway, Brandon asked something crazy: pink flamingos or Eraserhead or etc. He had an add-on to that, but for now, pink flamingos for me, because John Waters is an interesting director. He was also a very forward director in his, I wouldn't say his style, but like his, ideology. Like, he let people like Divine, who was a famous drag queen in the 60s and the 70s, on screen, which you really didn't see that a whole lot, and was very ahead of his time, and made these kind of interesting movies that were kind of uncomfortable, kind of weird, but kind of fun as well. And it's a good question. I've never actually seen Eraserhead, and it looks interesting, but it doesn't look my bag, but I still haven't seen it yet. But I would say, of the two movies, I would say Pink Flamingos. But he also had an add-on for that. He says, do you prefer atmosphere or shock horror? From a thing like Creature from the Black Lagoon to, say, like Dead Alive. I would say atmospheric horror, things like Black Christmas, or stuff like The Descent. It's not really shocking. It's more like just the atmosphere. Like, you're stuck in this cave. It's wet, it's damp, it's dark, and you only have a limited amount of light source. That's pretty scary and atmospheric. The shocking part about that is the jump scares with the animals, or with the creatures, or whatever. I prefer atmospheric horror than shock horror because jump scares get irritating after a while. You're just like waiting for it, and you know it's coming, and you're like, oh, it's nothing, and then it's just like 2 seconds later, it's like, rah! You know, that stuff is not entertaining for me. But to answer your question, atmospheric horror is more my thing than a bunch of jump scares, and that's it. The folks I love, Melinda, or Melinda Datz. I don't know how to say her name, I'm sorry. But she asked, what's your favorite horror movie of all time? Favorite horror movie of all time, I think, would have to be Jaws for some reason. Oh no, Halloween. I would say Halloween. Halloween, it's, started the slasher genre in some reasons and some ways. It's iconic, the music's iconic, the character is iconic of Michael Myers, and the actors all went on to do great things. Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasence, he was doing great things before that, but he will always be remembered for Halloween. But the movie itself is just atmospherically, just unsettling, and you're just wanting to know what Michael Myers would do next, what he's going to do to the kids. You see him following a kid for a little bit, it's like, oh, he's going to get this kid, but then nothing happens. It's because you were just leaving, it was leaving you in suspense. And stuff like that is good, entertaining, and it's a scary movie. Now we kind of see it, think it's cheesy or whatever, with the 70s, look of it. But they tried to redo the Halloween for 2018, and they changed a lot of things that didn't need to be changed, and they put a lot of stuff in there that was just unnecessary. So even though they had the modern updates and everything, they could still find ways to mess it up. But I would have to say Halloween 1978 would be my favorite horror movie of all time. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you liked this. If you have any questions for me, please, I will post a post on Twitter at the beginning of the week so I can have the viewer Q&A questions, and I will send you the digital download code as a thanks for the question. And thank you, Brandon, for answering the question, and thank you, Melinda, something, whatever your name is, thank you for answering the question, or sending in questions. Also, Best Buy, please let people film in the store. If they're not filming anybody, please let them just film the shelves. Just try not to get, I'm not trying to get anybody into the shot, just don't worry about it. I ain't filming you, Betty, trying to buy a selfie stick for your granddaughter who's like 13. It's none of your fucking business what I'm doing with a camera. Get your fat ass out of my shot. Okay?